So if you're currently in college, you're an undergraduate student, and you're thinking about a career in real estate, I want to walk through the next couple minutes how I think about the job search from the perspective of an undergraduate student. And full disclosure, I didn't enter the real estate market until after graduate school. I still went through a job search in undergrad, but I went back to school to get an MBA and then transitioned into the real estate industry. So I didn't exactly follow this process, but again, this is my advice if I'm thinking through the eyes of a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, somebody who's an undergrad looking to get into the real estate industry. And I think there are really kind of two paths. If you want to end up on the development side of the business, you can either go directly into development or you can do kind of an indirect approach and transition at a later date. Your options really are, again, if you're direct, you're going to go work for a development company, maybe a REIT, maybe a local private developer, or you're going to go the indirect route. The most popular indirect paths to get into real estate development and in the real estate industry are brokerage and finance, right? So if you can go work as a real estate broker on the commercial side, I think that gives you a clear path into the development industry. Same thing for financing. If you can go work for a bank or a large insurance company on the lending side, right, providing capital for real estate development or acquisitions, I think that gives you a great lens into the development industry and can give you a path to that. Other indirect careers could include other kind of AEC, architecture, engineering, construction, the technical side of the business, right? So if you are in engineering school or architecture school or getting a construction management degree, those are kind of degree required positions. So if you're not already in those programs, it might be a little tough to get into those positions. But if you are on the technical side of the business, you can think about ultimately transitioning into the real estate side of the business. So those are kind of your options. What I would do first, if your ultimate goal is to get onto the development side of the business, is just go on LinkedIn and do a search for connections, second or third, who are in the real estate industry and have the word analyst in their title. Typically on any of those positions, on the financial side, on the brokerage side, or capital markets side, or development side, the kind of first rung on the ladder is going to be an analyst role. And so if you can find out who are the analysts you are connected or could be connected to, just start networking, right? Reaching out to these people and kind of get two questions answered. If you can understand how they got to that position and also how or what skills they think are most required to get the jobs that they have, right? Because what that allows you to do is while you're still in school, this whole process is really about planning for the future, right? So you know where you are today, that's position A. You know where you want to be in the real estate development industry, that's C. You've got to figure out that B. What's in between A and C, where you are today and where you want to go, that'll get you to where you want to go. And so the best way to do that is just ask people. It's also really important to understand that the real estate industry is typically just-in-time hiring. And so what that means is most developers don't hire large classes of new graduates. Oftentimes it's one or two people every 2, 3, 5 years. So there aren't a ton of opportunities, and they really only happen just in time. So when there's a need, they go hire, right? It's not every fall or every spring or every summer. It's not seasonal. It's when there's a need, they go hire. And so building a network is critical to that. You're not going to find out about the opportunities unless you're actively searching. And a great way to search is indirectly through your network of people who are in the industry. So build that network, make a plan, ask the questions, start building those relationships. And then as I've talked about before, when it comes to networking, the most valuable thing you can do is not just build the network, but figure out a way to keep up with your network over time. So again, if you're a freshman or sophomore, start early, build your network, but don't just make the connections, keep up with those connections over time. And I have a video that I can link to that I did previously on this topic, but again, that's where the most value is. That is how you're going to find out about these opportunities. That's when you're going to know when these companies are hiring. That's when you're going to be able to find out who else you should be connecting to in the market. And so keeping up with your network, again, I'll say it a million times, is by far the most important and valuable thing you can be doing. So come up with a plan, ask the right questions, and keep up with the people you've connected with. And ultimately, I think you can find yourself a position in the development industry.